A brief introduction. God has declared in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, whenever there is a degradation of the religions in the world, I come to earth to punish the evil ones and to protect the good ones. So think, as in the condition of the world deteriorated to the extent that God's incarnation on earth has become necessary. Fire is burning everywhere in the world. Somewhere it is fire plus, and somewhere it is the fire of anger. Somewhere man is destroying nature, and somewhere else nature is destroying man. Will the world continue to degrade like this? Is its transformation possible? Yes, it is possible, but not through the simple human beings. It is possible through the one who purifies the simple ones. Petit Pavel Sarakayankari. Through the one who is always benevolent. Murmati no sadram talmi naye uj Paramatma ko nahi picture party. Through Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, God Shiva, who has divinely incarnated in the land of Bharat in order to transform this hell into heaven since 1936 and 37. Having entered secretly into an ordinary human body, he has been undertaking the task of the world transformation through the teaching of easy Raja Yoga and the divine knowledge. It is described in the Gita. Ignorant people cannot recognize me, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, who comes into an ordinary body. How can they recognize him? Only human beings have become sinful, ambitious, and the result of passing through 84 births in this huge 5,000-year war drama. They have been using their mind and intellect for the body, which is like soil. So their intellect has become stone-like, and they themselves have become unconscious. It is described in the Gita, God, in order to show Arjuna his cosmic form, Vishvarup, granted him the divine vision. This is not about just one Arjuna, and God did not narrate the 18th chapter of the Gita only to Arjuna in Sanskrit sitting on a chariot Ida. Actually, the incorporeal Supreme Father Shiva, Nirakar Parampitasya, sits in a chariot like human body at present and explains the secret of the beginning, the middle and the end of the world to the Arjun-like souls, meaning the ones who make unearning through making spiritual form. Purushat Ka Aryan Karnivale. He is the father of all of us, so all of us have the right to his inheritance of knowledge and eternal peace and happiness. Sukh Shanti. He himself has come to this earth to bestow this inheritance upon us and is giving us the teachings of this divine knowledge and Raja Yoga while sitting on an ordinary chariot like human body. The task of his began in the year 3637 in a city named Sindh, Hyderabad in Pakistan. It was part of India before the partition of India in 1948, when he gave visions of the four-armed Vishnu instruction of the old world of hell and the establishment of the new world of heaven to Dalalegra, a famous diamond merchant, but Dalegra could not understand the meaning of the divine visions. He asked his gurus for clarifications, but how could they understand the play of God? They advised him to approach the famous scholars in planets of Varanasi to find an answer. But he met with only disappointment there too. In Varanasi too, he continued to have visions. He used to draw pictures of those visions on the walls situated on the banks of the Ganges. since nobody could solve his problem. He remembered his business partner, who lived in Calcutta. Being impressed by his loyalty and honesty, Lalik Rak trusted him with the responsibility of his diamond shop in Calcutta. So Dadalek Rak went to Calcutta, but instead of speaking about his visions directly to his father, he spoke about it to the mother, who was his close relative, the junior mother. And she, in turn, spoke to another mother, who was good at speaking, listening, and narrating, reporting what was said to her. Later on, when that mother, who was good at listening and narrating, spoke about those visions to Prapita, the partner, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva, point of light, entered simultaneously in that mother and Prapita, the partner. Through the mother, who was good in listening and narrating, the foundation of the path of devotion was led through the process of listening and narrating their visions, and through the partner, the foundation of the path of knowledge was led through the process of understanding and explaining the knowledge. After some time, through the practical part and experiences of the partner and the mother, who was his close relative, Dalek Rak recognized the part of his present birth in the form of Brahma, and he also recognized that in the coming Golden Age he will play the role of Krishna, first prince. In a similar way, the Virgin Om Radhe became certain about her part as Sarasvati in the present birth, and the part of the first princess Radha in the coming Golden Age. Actually, these Brahman Sarasvati were just holding the titles of Brahma Sarasvati. In reality, the parent was Prapita Brahma, and the second mother was Jagaramba, the mother of the world, Siddhimala. The spiritual family that was established by God Himself, coming in a corporeal form, moved back to Sindh Hyderabad from Calcutta, and later on from Sindh Hyderabad to Karachi. Over there, for a few years, the father and those two mothers played the roles of the corporeal media of the incorporeal god Shiva. Later on, they died. The entire responsibility of the divine work fell on the shoulders of Dada Legna, who as soon as he recognized God had offered Nyochawar, his mind, body and will in service to God. Consequently, the Supreme Father Shiva continued the task of the world transformation into the body of Lada Legna, whose name is Brahma, according to his actions. Meanwhile, the spiritual family, which initially was called Omanle, was transferred to Mount Vu. In Rajasthan, India, after the partition of India, and became known as Brahma Kumari Isvarija Visvavidyalaya. From there, the teachings of spiritual knowledge and meditation, the Raja Yoga imparted by God, started to spread all over the country and abroad. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva, through the direct Raj, alias Brahma, narrated the primary or basic knowledge about the soul, the Supreme Soul, and the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. First of all, he thought that we are not these physical bodies made of five elements: earth, water, air, fire, and sky. Actually, we are very subtle points of light, meaning we are souls. Just like a driver is needed to drive a car, similarly, a driver like soul is needed to run his car, like body. The soul consists of the mind, intellect, and imprints. of the past experiences, forming the personality. Man, buddhi, intellect, and sanskar imprint. The soul is eternal, immortal, and indestructible, but the body is perishable. Another thing, if we sow a mango seed, a mango tree will grow up from it, and it will produce only mango fruits. Similarly, the human soul is reborn only in the form of human beings and doesn't go into other species. Just as we are star-like souls, similarly our eternal Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva, is also a star-like soul, but he is the Supreme Soul. So he is infinite in every virtue and power. We souls sometimes become pure and sometimes sinful, but he is ever pure, and that is why his true name is Shiva. Shiva means benevolent, Kalyankari. He is also called Sadashiva because he is always benevolent. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, isn't omnipresent, Sarvavyapi. Neither he is born through a mother's womb, nor does he incarnate in various creatures. In fact, he enters into the bodies of the three most elevated human souls and performs the task of establishment, destruction, and sustenance. Stapana, Vinasha, or Palana. Therefore, he is also called the Trimurti Shiva. In the scriptures, Shiva and Sankar were combined, but incorporeal Shiva is different from the corporeal Mahadeva Sankar. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva, and we souls are the rulers of the soul world, Paramdam, which is situated beyond the universe containing the sun, the moon, and the stars. We souls descend from there to the stage-like world, acquire these dress-like bodies, and enact the drama. This war drama lasts for 5,000 years, in which the human souls take maximum 84 births. There are 4 scenes, meaning 4 ages of this drama. Each of them lasts for 1,250 years. Amongst them, the Golden Age and the Silver Age are called Heaven, the Copper Age and the Iron Age are called Hell. Satyuga, Treta Svarga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, Naraka. The human souls living in heaven established about 5,000 years ago were deities, because being so conscious, they were completely virtuous and pure. There was only one kingdom, one language, one religion, the ancient deity religion, as they were pure and happy. They didn't need to remember God. Sorrow and restlessness begin in the Copper Age, when the human souls begin to consider themselves as bodies. Therefore, the deities, who are now called Hindus, begin to build temples, worship Shivalingams and idols of deities. Souls of various religions' fathers arrive from the soul world and establish their respective religions. The establishment of Islam and Abraham and Christianity by Jesus Christ take place in the Copper Age. In the Iron Age, numerous religions and opinions are established, and all the human beings become completely vicious, corrupt, and dominated by quality of darkness and ignorance. Tamu. Then, at the end of the Iron Age, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva himself enters the body of Prapita Brahma to purify the sinful souls and teach the divine knowledge of Raja Yoga. The period of the divine incarnation of Shiva, which began in the year 3637, is called the Confluence Age, Sangam Yuga. The confluence of the end of the Iron Age and the beginning of the Golden Age. During this period, the human souls destroy the 5 vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, through the remembrance of the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, and are endowed with all powers once again. The spiritual task of the Supreme Father Shiva was going on through Dadalek Rag in Mount Mu till January 18, 69, when Dadalek Rag alias Brahma died suddenly Until now, his soul enters the body of Daliluk Unsar from the Brahma Kumaris organization and narrates the Adhiatmik. Nevertheless, the unlimited task of God, the task of the world transformation, cannot stop. In 69, the point of light Shiva entered again into his permanent chariot, meaning the body of the one who was Dalek Rak's partner in his following birth. The revelation of this chariot took place in 76 among the seekers of knowledge in the Brahma Kumari organization in Delhi, initially after 82. This task of God was going on anonymously from the village Kampila, situated in the Furukba district of Uttar Pradesh, and now it is going on in the revealed form of Kalankidar. Situated in the district Furukba is Kampila, an ancient, dilapidated small village which today has been erased from the memory of the mankind. Is a very important village from the historical and mythological point of view. According to the Mahabharata Puran, this village was the capital of the kingdom Panchal. It is believed that Draupadi, daughter of Draupad, the king of Panchal, was born in Kampila. The memorial of the Jagya Kunda, a hole dug in the ground where sacrificial fires are made, of knowledge where Draupadi was born, is present as the Draupadi Kund here today. Near the sacrificial hearth on a hill rock there is a hermitage where the sage Kapil used to perform his ascetic practice, Tapasya. Two famous pilgrimage centers of the Jain religion, the Digambar Jain temple dedicated to Bhimanath Swamiji, the 13th Tirthankar of the Jains, and the Svetambar Jain temple are also situated in this village, Kampil. Apart from these, there are also many other old temples here, which prove the historical and religious importance of Kampil. Perhaps that is why the Supreme Father Supreme Soul Shiva himself has chosen this village Kampil for his secret task of the world transformation. Since 76, through his last permanent human chariot, Prapit Brahman, who becomes famous by the name Shankara, according to his actions, who is revealed, the Supreme Father Shiva has been clarifying the deep intrinsic meanings of the Murlis, the flute of knowledge, narrated by him through the Allegra in Mount Abu since 1951 till 18th of January 1969. Through his permanent chariot, the Supreme Father Supreme Soul Shiva is also clarifying the four pictures containing the secrets of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world, which he prepared through the Allegra Brahma. For example, in the picture of the Trimurti Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, and Sankar are depicted along with the point of light Shiva. Although in this picture, Vishnu and Sankar took look the same as they are described in the Indian mythological scriptures. The picture of Brahma was replaced by the picture of Dalegra. Regarding this topic, the Brahma Kumaris organization explains that the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva, started the task of establishment of new world through Dalegra. So he was shown in the place of Brahma. But unlike with Dalegra, they don't know through the corporeal body of which human souls the Supreme Soul will perform the task of the destruction of the old devilish world and the task of the sustenance of the coming needy world. Through the permanent chariot of the incorporeal Shiva, it has been clarified who are the human souls through whom the Supreme Soul plays the roles of establishment, destruction, and sustenance. For example, who play in practice the role of Brahma, Sankara, and Vishnu, respectively, who are the mother and father of the entire world through whom the Supreme Father Shiva gives the inheritance. of eternal peace and happiness, and who will rule over the entire world in the form of War Emperor Sri Narayan and War Empress Sri Lakshmi. Vishma Maharajan Sri Narayan or Vishma Maharani Sri Lakshmi. What the common new world, paradise or Jannat will be like, and who will be the first who lives of that heavenly world, Sri Krishna and Sri Radha. Similarly, in the advanced knowledge imparted through Prapita Brahm since 76, we have been told how the shooting or rehearsal of the entire 5,000-year world drama takes place in the Confluence Age. Who is the seed of the human creation? How are the seed-like and root-like souls? ये बीज रूपी व आधारभूत आत्माहीन of every religion receive the true knowledge from that ocean of knowledge in the Confluence Age, and how they establish their respective religions since the Copper Age, how the human souls have maximum for birds, and how the foundation for the rise and fall in these worlds is laid in the Confluence Age. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, Shiva himself, is directly giving the power, guidance, and the teachings of Raja Yoga now, meaning the yoga that creates the King of Kings, which is even higher than the knowledge of the scriptures. The main aim of the Supreme Para, Supreme Soul, Shiva, coming to this earth is to bring the deity souls of all religions back together, uniting them with one thread, and then to re-establish the ancient deity religion, Adi Sanatan, Devi Devata Dharma, which almost doesn't exist now, meaning to transform the human beings into deities. Every man, Arjun, should perform such actions that from a man he will become Narayan, and every woman, Draupadi, should perform such actions that from a woman she will become Lakshmi. नाराय से कर्म करे जो नर अर्जुन से नरजन बने और नारी द्रौपदी ऐसे कर्म करे जो लक्ष्मी बने. There are two ways to achieve this target: the divine knowledge and the Raja Yoga, the remembrance of God. The advanced training of this knowledge is given free of cost in the AIUBUB Adhiatmik Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya B Madhubani Kampil, as well as in other AIUBUB spiritual families and schools of the Gita in various states all over India. For many decades, since the rise of science, man has been blindly using chemical fertilizer in order to make quick money. Although these artificial fertilizers increase the production, the pollution of Mother Nature, and Earth has been increasing day by day. Because of eating this kind of polluted food, today the mankind has become both mentally and physically diseased. Hence, in late 90s, in Punjab, Haryana, and Kampila, in Furukbag district of Uttar Pradesh, the members of IVV started a unique experiment of growing organic crops in the remembrance of God as part of the world transformation initiated by God Shiva, with the objective of putting into practice the principle, like one's food, like one's thoughts, in order to grow the pollution-free crops, spread pure vibrations in the world, transmit the divine knowledge, and enable the practice of Raja Yoga in the various spiritual families. The Adhiatmik Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya members in above mentioned places started farming without chemical fertilizers so that the intake of food free from pollution could ensure the physical and mental health. In this way, the task of purifying both the souls and nature is going on in IVV, Adhiatmik Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya. As a unique experiment, the members of Adhiatmik Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya themselves cultivate the farm and in the remembrance of God, refreshing the memories of ancient hermitage life. The residents of this farm perform tapasya through the practice of the karma yoga, remembrance of God while performing actions. They begin their day early in the morning, Brahma Muhurt, and after listening to the lessons of divine knowledge and practice of meditation, they get busy in various farm-related works in the remembrance of God. Everyone would like to experience the real peace, happiness and purity in their lives, and become acquainted with the details about the secret role of the corporeal Supreme Soul Father, Supreme Soul Shiva, that is going on in India. Is most welcome in our spiritual families. Om Shanti.